In this week's portion, VaYishlach, aside reading from the reunion of Jacob and his twin Esau, we come across a very dramatic and very disturbing incident in the life of one of Jacob's children. We know about the 12 tribes of Israel being the sons of Jacob and Leah and Rachel, but there's a daughter as well, a daughter named Dinah. And in this week's portion, we find this sexual violence that is committed against her by the son of the king of the neighboring town in which their whole family is living, the town of Shechem. So she is out in the field one day. He sees her, he rapes her, and then wants to marry her. And in the negotiation with Dinah's brothers, not with Jacob, but with her brothers Shimon and Levi, they agree that he can marry her as long as all the male inhabitants of the town of Shechem circumcise themselves. When they do, and in their recovery, Shimon and Levi and the rest of the brothers kill the entire male population of the town of Shechem. This horrific event in the history of our people is normally, and for good reason, ignored when children learn this in Jewish day school. They learn about the stories of Abraham, Isaac, and all of the subsequent patriarchs and matriarchs, but this chapter is skipped over. But it's in the Torah nonetheless, in order to teach us something very important about life. And that is, first, at the end of the book of Genesis, when Jacob gives the final blessing to his children before he passes, he recognizes that sin that Shimon and Levi perpetrated against the inhabitants of Shechem, and recognizes their violence in the so-called blessing he gives to them. The tribe of Shimon ends up disappearing from Jewish history. If we look at the census from the beginning of the book of Numbers to the end of the book of Numbers, Shimon is practically non-existent. And the tribe of Levi, however, becomes the servants of God in the temple in Jerusalem. They are the tribe that ends up perhaps as teshuvah, an act of repentance for this violent act against the inhabitants of Shechem, end up serving God for the rest of their lives. And perhaps that is a lesson we're supposed to learn from this story. Violent acts are perpetrated by people all the time. It is a nature of human condition for us to try to rise above the evil inclination within ourselves and to eradicate evil from society. And there is a methodology to do that. No matter how heinous the crime, there is punishment and there is a way to overcome it, to even become servants of God and working for God in the temple in Jerusalem. Shabbat Shalom.